This is going to be a fun one, folks. Right there, that top left, that's the bar. You see that curve right before it. Kind of technical. Okay, folks, here we are coming around, going to make the landing, and I kind of changed my mind about how I'm going to land this bar. Instead of running the channel, I decided to come kind of like a left base, drop in as close to the trees on the right side of the channel here so that I could reduce that turn that I got to make before I pop on the bar. But so I come in, and you can see, just barely see the bar up there in the windscreen, but I kind of come in, instead of running the channel there, I come right over the trees on the right side of the channel, and I've got my speed up, got my flaps on, and then I was able to, it was easier to negotiate it and come in, and that way gave me the opportunity to have my speed a little bit better. Put it down and did the rollout, and again, it just kind of, it didn't straighten it out a lot, but just enough that it made it much easier to get on the bar. Okay, folks, I'm sitting on this bar here, and one of my favorite things to do is to break my chair out and just sit and commune with the Father. I know I'm going to try not to preach to none of you guys. Everybody don't hold the same beliefs that I do, but I'm a Christian, got saved at an early age in 1984, and tried to straighten my life out and do the best I could to serve the Lord. Big disappointment in a great way, I'm sure, but the point is I wanted to just talk a little bit about, you know, a lot of times your backcountry preparation is not only your plane and your gear to make sure that if you have an issue and you wind up having to spend a night on a bar due to an accident, or maybe your plane tore up, you need, you know, all the tools and then the gear ready to be able to supply those needs. But one of the biggest things that I think that's important is you never know when you're doing this kind of backwoods playing when your number's going to get called. You obviously increase liability, problems that could happen, and never know whenever you're going to have to check out. So it's very important that you have your eternal destination settled. And I'm not going to preach to you much. This is probably one of the only times I'll bring this up on my videos and on my YouTube channel. But fellas, if you don't know Jesus, there ain't no do-overs, and eternity is too long to be wrong. Make sure you get it right if you're going to get out and play and take chances. Take care now. Okay, here we are, done mounted up. Gonna pull up here and do a little, pick the tail up and do a little 180 turn. And there was very little wind today, but I wanted to make the takeoff go in the direction that I landed, because going out this way, you can look straight ahead. That was that 90-degree turn, and I could get off of the bar with no problem, but then I'd be facing having to make a 90-degree turn to the right at slow speed, climbing out, and I probably could have done it. It wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been a big deal, but the fact that there was no wind, it was better judgment to go ahead and back taxi and take off going the direction that I landed, so that there's not as much of a turn or crook that you got to make as soon as you lift off. So anyhow, I'm back up at the top. I'm buttoned up the canopy and fixing to pick the tail up and get turned straight and get on with the takeoff. But you can see it's right there was where you had to come around that bend. It was very, very little final at all. So we got the tail up, and here we go. We power up and start the run, and you obviously don't have any room for error here. If you don't get your speed up and get off, you're going swimming. But that was the landing, folks, and it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I enjoy these kind of challenging landings. It adds to the fun of the flying. If all you did was just easy stuff, there'd be nothing to the flying. But enjoy and like and subscribe.